Hello children, now we are going to study about Raoult's law for the liquid solutions containing non-volatile solids. As we had studied Raoult's law for the liquid solution containing volatile liquids, now we are going to study for case 2, Raoult's law for liquid solutions containing volatile non-volatile component or solid. This we are going to study today. We had seen as per Raoult's law that partial vapor pressure of a component in a liquid solution is directly proportional to its mole fraction. Okay? We had seen this thing. And one more thing we should remember from the last concepts, that vapor pressure for a liquid solution containing non-volatile solute is only due to volatile component, that is solvent. What are the two things? One statement of Raoult's law, that partial vapor pressure of a component in its solution is directly proportional to its mole fraction. That means we had seen Pa is directly proportional to Xa. Or if we are taking solute as volatile, then Pb will be directly proportional to Xb. A general that partial vapor pressure of a component in a liquid solution is directly proportional to its mole fraction. One thing this we should remember. Another thing, that vapor pressure of a liquid solution containing non-volatile solute is only due to vapor pressure of volatile component, that is solvent, because here solute is non-volatile. Since solute is non-volatile, so it will not contribute in formation of vapors. So because of solute there will be no vapor pressure. So whatever vapor pressure is there, that is because of component A, that is solvent. Only solvent contributes in formation of vapors. So whatever vapor pressure of solution is there, that is due to formation of vapors. So vapor pressure of solution is due to partial vapor pressure of component A. That is solvent, because it is volatile. So that means P is due to Pa. This two things we had to remember. One, as per Raoult's law, partial vapor pressure of a component in the liquid solution is directly proportional to its mole fraction. Another thing we have to remember, if solute is non-volatile, then vapor pressure of solute in the partial vapor pressure of solute in the solution will be 0, because it is not contributing in formation of any vapors. So solvent only making the vapors, and whatever vapor pressure of solution is there, that is because of solvent only. Am I clear? Now we will see further what is according to Raoult's law for liquid solution containing non-volatile solute. As per Raoult's law, How we will define this law? At a given temperature, if you remember those 2 points, then it will be easier to understand the Raoult's law. At a given temperature, the vapor pressure of solution containing non-volatile solute is directly proportional to its non-volatile solute is directly proportional to the mole fraction of solvent. What is the statement? At a given temperature, the vapor pressure of solution containing non-volatile solute is directly proportional to mole fraction of pure solvent. Because solute is non-volatile, it will not contribute in formation of vapor. There will be no vapor pressure due to solute. So only solvent is responsible for the vapor pressure. So how we will see? P is total vapor pressure of solution is directly proportional to mole fraction of A. This we have seen that P is total vapor pressure of solution, XA is the mole fraction of solvent. Now, since already I discussed that PB will be 0 here because it is not making any solution. So, will they see this P equals to PA naught XA? As we have seen, if we remove the proportionality sign, there will be a constant PA naught. PA naught is the vapor pressure of pure component A or vapor pressure of pure solvent. Now we will see further derivation of this law. Let us see. Just once again, P equals to PA naught XA. We all know XA plus XB equals to 1. In a solution, the total mole fraction will be equals to 1. Sum of the mole fraction of all the components will be 1. So we will see XA equals to 1 minus XB. On putting this value in this expression of P, PA naught 1 minus XB. Multiply this PA naught with this expression in bracket. P equals to PA naught multiplied by 1, this will PA naught, minus PA naught multiplied with XB, this will be PA naught XB. Now just solving this, P on bringing this term on this side, this will be P minus PA naught equals to minus PA naught XB. Just making the sign opposite, this will become or PA naught minus P, this will become PA naught XB. Now this PA naught minus P is called as lowering in vapor pressure. Why it is called as lowering in vapor pressure? Let us see once again. P equals to Pa naught XA. XA plus XB will be equals to 1. XA is equals to 1 minus XB. Putting this value in this expression, instead of XA we will write 1 minus XB. P equals to Pa naught 1 minus XB. P equals to, now solving Pa naught minus Pa naught XB. Now further bringing this term on this side, LHS of equation, this sign will become minus. Now just altering the sign here, minus to plus, then we will see Pa naught minus P. Now this term Pa naught minus P is known as relative lowering in vapor pressure. Why it is called as lowering in vapor pressure? See, Pa naught is vapor pressure of pure solvent and P is the vapor pressure of solution, and this P is the vapor pressure of solution due to component A, that is solvent. So that means this vapor pressure of component A in the solution is lesser than what it is in pure condition. So vapor pressure of pure solvent is always more than vapor pressure of solution, which is due to vapor pressure of solvent only. So this is called as lowering in vapor pressure, because vapor pressure of solvent decreases when it is having volatile, non-volatile solute present in it, dissolved in it. So this is known as lowering in vapor pressure. Just cross multiplying this term on this will become Pa naught minus Pa naught upon Pa naught, it will be equals to XB. Now this term Pa naught minus P upon Pa naught is known as relative lowering in vapor pressure, because we are lowering in vapor pressure with respect to vapor pressure of pure solvent. We'll see it is relative lowering in vapor pressure. So this term Pa naught minus P upon Pa naught is called as relative lowering in vapor pressure. So we see in above expression, if we will see, this relative lowering in vapor pressure is equals to mole fraction of the solute. Relative lowering in vapor pressure is equals to the mole fraction of the solute. So we from here, this is the expression for Raoult's law for the liquid solution containing non-volatile solute. So relative lowering in vapor pressure is directly proportional to mole fraction of solute. That means higher the mole fraction of solute, lower will be the vapor pressure of the solution. So more and more non-volatile solute is there, less and less will be the vapor pressure of the solution. So we will see another statement for the Raoult's law, that relative lowering in vapor pressure is directly proportional to mole fraction of solute at a given temperature. This is the another statement for the Raoult's law for liquid solution containing containing non-volatile solute. Here we had studied both the cases of Raoult's law are over. Now we will see Raoult's law is the special case of the Henry's law. We had seen Henry's law as well as Raoult's law. So we will see that Raoult's law is the special case of Henry's law. A special case of Henry's law. Just recall Henry's law. What does Henry's law say? Henry's law state, first you just see the statement. Henry's law states that mass of the gas dissolved in a liquid is directly proportional to the pressure applied, or solubility of a gas in a liquid solvent is directly proportional to the mole fraction, is directly proportional to the pressure applied. Similarly, we can give, it was also stated like that. What was the another statement for Henry's law? That the solubility of gas in a liquid solvent is directly proportional to mole fraction. So here, if we see the statement of Henry's law, we'll find that here, as per Henry's law, just I am writing expression that P equals to KHX, that solubility of gas in a liquid solution is directly proportional to the pressure applied, or partial pressure of gas dissolved in the liquid solvent is directly proportional to the mole fraction of the gas in the solution. Now what about Raoult's law? Raoult's law. As per Raoult's law, PA is directly proportional to PA naught XA, or PB equals to if it is volatile component. So general we see that pressure of a component is directly proportional to its mole fraction. So here, what is the similarity between the two laws? Both the laws work for volatile component. Both the laws work for volatile components. In case of Henry's law, which was the volatile component? Gas. In case of Raoult's law, it is liquid. Whether it is solute or solvent, it is working for volatile component. So both the laws work for volatile component of the solution. Another thing, similarity, that both the laws agree that the pressure in case of Henry's law is directly proportional to mole fraction, or in case of Raoult's law, it is PA is directly proportional to. That means pressure applied over the pressure due to volatile component is directly proportional to the mole fraction. Its mole fraction. So here both the laws agree for that vapor pressure of volatile component is directly proportional to its mole fraction. So what are the two similarities? Both work for volatile component and both agree that vapor pressure of a volatile component is directly proportional to its mole fraction. Now only what is difference between them? Here you see the differences of constant. In case of Henry's law, constant is Henry's constant. In case of Raoult's law, it is vapor pressure of pure component. Here we will see that both the laws have the constant different. Henry's law contains Kh and Raoult's law has Pa0 or Pb0, which is the vapor pressure of the pure component. So we will see Pa0 become equal to Kh even in the liquid solution. So we'll see one of the component obey Henry's law over a range of mole fraction. So we'll see that the solution in which solute behaves ideally will find that in Henry's law solvent also behave ideally. As per Raoult's law, it is not necessary that both the components behave ideally. If one is non-volatile, it will not behave ideally. So here, ideality of solvent in case of Raoult's law, it doesn't mean that solute must obey Henry's law also. So when solution become more and more dilute, that means solute becomes, mole fraction of solute becomes very less, negligible, approaches zero, then we will find that the component of solution behave more ideally. Their Raoult's law, their solute follows Raoult's law, and also solvent follows Raoult's law, and solute follows Henry's law. Means both the when x approaches zero, both the component solvent and solute, both the component behave Raoult's law, and Henry's law obeys solute obeys Henry's law. So we'll see that Raoult's law is a special case of Henry's law. Both have similarity of that both can work for volatile component. Both are, in both the cases, partial pressure of volatile component is directly proportional to mole fraction. Only differences of constant. Both the laws work together if solutions are dilute. So in special conditions, both the laws can be working together. This is all. We'll be studying what are ideal and non-ideal solution in our next class.